Are you recording, Rebecca? You good?
You're all set.
All right, so call to order the Monday, May 27th, regular meeting of council. I'm going to read a short Indigenous land acknowledgement statement. As we gather, we are reminded that the township of Edwardsburg Cardinal is situated on the traditional territory of Indigenous peoples dating back countless generations, which is rich in history and home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people today. As a township, we have a responsibility for the stewardship of the lands on which we live, work, and play. And today, this meeting place is still home to Indigenous people, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work and call this land home. Before I call for the approval of our agenda, I just want to give a special welcome to Miss Jessica Crawford, our new treasurer. Welcome to the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal, Jess. It's fantastic to have you. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jess will be beginning her duties in office on Monday, June the 3rd, correct? Good, awesome. Welcome, Jess.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
All right, so approval of the agenda. Deputy Mayor, you have the approval of the agenda?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Mr. Martel. That the municipal council approves the agenda as presented.
Any changes to the agenda, anyone? Hearing none, called question, all in favor? Disclosure of pecuniary interests, conflict of interest, general nature thereof. Does anyone have any
None by me.
interest today? Delegations and presentations, there are none. Consent agenda, so items listed under consent agenda are considered routine and no longer require further discussion and are enacted in one motion. The exception to this rule is that a member may request that one or more items be pulled for the discussion and voted on separately. Does anyone have anything to remove? Does anyone have anything to remove? Does anyone have anything to
I'm
remove?
not trying to. Nope.
3 times. All right, Councilor Martel, can you bring forward the recommendation, please?
Moved by myself, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stephen Dillabaugh, that municipal council receives and approves the following consent agenda items as presented. A, regular council, April 29th, 2024. B, special council, May 6th, 2024. C, special council, May 13th, 2024. Port Management Committee, April 22nd, 2024. Committee of the Whole, Community Development, May 6th, 2024. Committee of the Whole, Administration and Operations, May 13th, 2024. Public Meeting Zoning Bylaw Amendment 2460 Rooney Road, May 21st, 2024. Reduced Summer Meeting Schedule. Seaway Horticultural Society, Cardinal Library Garden. Bylaw 2013-43 exemption, South Grenville Chamber of Commerce event. Spencerville Plumbing Station number 1 upgrades, endorsement and appointment to Source Protection Committee, and exploring options for splash pad in Spencerville.
Thank you, Councilor Martel.
You're welcome.
Great, so no discussion. This is a consent agenda, so we call the question. All right, so then all in favor? Okay, so clerk, if I'm not mistaken, does that mean we move on to 10H?
PH hearing and 10G, the 2023 year-end township surplus.
10G, that's correct. Cool, we're starting off with a perfect one. Councilor Martel, can we bring that one forward? Just leave one.
Moved by myself, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stephen Dillabaugh, that municipal council direct the treasurer to allocate $70,000 of the 2023 surplus to the Recreation Reserve account 01-3527 and $27,951.51 of the 2023 surplus to the Public Works Reserve account 013520 as recommended by the Committee of the Whole, Administration and Operations.
Thanks, Councilor Martel.
You're welcome.
So roughly 97,951.51 surplus from last year, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, equaling about what, 1.25%, something like that. Yeah, awesome. That's fantastic management of the finances from last year, and I'm happy to see that there's a good a good surplus to top up the reserves. We did use a little bit of those last year, so that's fantastic news. Moved and seconded, comments, questions further? No, all right, I'll call the question, all in favor? Okay. Moving on to the most exciting item on the agenda, the 2024 PSAB budget addendum. Deputy Mayor, you have that item.
This is really important. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself, second by Joe Martell, the municipality council adopt the 2024 PSAB budget addendum report, which meets the requirements of regulation 284/09 as recommended by the committee of the whole administration operation.
Questions, comments? Treasurer, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, just, we did receive a question from Council Ward, since he was away, when we discussed that at the meeting, so, just always to keep in mind with this is, strictly dealing with our financial statements, so consider the $6 million that's going to be in the, PSAB budget as what will add to our book value in, 2024.
We're going in the right direction. Closing the gap. Which is fantastic. Closing the gap without debt, which is even better. Yeah. Okay, nobody else. Treasurer was the only one, so I'll call the question. All in favor? Good. All right, so we are on 10I, which is the OPP Detachment Board. Councilor Martell.
Moved by myself, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stephen Dillabaugh, that municipal council appoint the mayor to represent the township of Edwardsburg Cardinal on the South Grenville OPP Detachment Board and support an ad hoc South Grenville Detachment Board selection committee being formed consisting of one appointed member from each respective partner municipality with a clear mandate to review and recommend community member applications to the participating councils as recommended by the Committee of the Whole Administration and Operations.
Okay, comments, questions on appointment of the mayor to the OPP Detachment Board? No, all right, I'll call the question. All in favor? We sort of, I guess I can say that now, we had I don't remember what day it was, last Friday morning, we sort of, with CAOs and mayors met to have an initial discussion, and I think we've set dates for our next meeting in end of September, and then for our formal first detachment board meeting will be I think the last Thursday in October.
I believe, Mr. Mayor, has changed to Wednesday, October 23rd.
So it's Wednesday, October 23rd. Yeah, which will be the inaugural meeting, so we'll send out invites to everybody and hopefully have a bit of a crowd that day. Okay, called the question, it's already done with. All right, so item J, which is the Port of Johnstown financial statements, and Councillor Ward, you have that.
I do, yes. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Joe Martell, that Municipal Council 1 receive the audit report on the Port of Johnstown's financial statements as outlined during the regular meeting held on May 21st, 2024, and 2, receive and approve the 2023 Port of Johnstown's financial statement as provided by MNP LLP Chartered Accountants as recommended by the Port Management Committee. That's available.
All right, questions and comments? Councilors?
So I mean, no,
It's a hesitation.
it was a good, it was a good year. It was good to see all that work paid off as well with the effort that they do there, and otherwise, yeah, no, it was good to see that there was not a lot of big differences from what we expected. So,
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Guys, this side, no?
Good.
Kevin, sorry, I forgot to mention that Kevin Saunders from the Port of Johnstown is here tonight. Kevin, did you have anything that you wanted to say in regard to it? You absolutely don't have to, but.
No, I'm coming.
Okay. So then I will call the question then, all in favor? Okay. So I will say, for the record, The audit, certainly a clean audit again. Financial statements were, like Councillor Ward said, fantastically, they're always well done, everything there is done so well. The numbers were, record numbers on both sides, and I think, I forgot in open session last time to thank Rhonda Coate for the great work that she does on behalf of the township at the port, or for the port. So please extend that to Rhonda on my behalf and the council's behalf. Thank you for the great work that she does, and well done, another fantastic year. Yeah. Okay, now, this one's a great, this one. Item K, Councillor Smail.
Thank you, Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joey Martell. The municipal council will award the Area 1 Rail Rehabilitation Project to Jones Rail in the amount of $147,262.74, and the Area 2 Asphalt Paving Project to G. Tackaberry and Sons Construction Limited in the amount of $228,717.50 for a total amount of $375,981.24, excluding HST, plus a contingency of 10%, and authorize the mayor and the port general manager to execute and the contract on behalf of the township and the port as recommended by the Port Management Committee.
Good, thank you. Comments, questions?
Nope. We had our discussion there in our report meeting, good. Not a lot of companies were into that rail, so good job. We have a local company nearby, Jones, that would take that on.
Yep.
We might have been in a little bit of trouble for that.
Yep, some
Great to see.
well-needed work, certainly, that needs to be done.
And I mean, it was a little bit higher than budget, but I still think when you looked at the diagrams of what's being paved, the part of that is really contingency money for doing the work on the green dryer. We needed to get the trucks away from where they were gonna pass by the new silos. So, while it's above budget, I think that's part of just the cost of having the green dryer going on there as well. So,
Yeah.
So,
Well, the area certainly continues to take a beating, let's say, from the traffic that goes over, and then, having all modes of transportation available with their damage to anything makes a lot of sense. And I mean, it's been 10 years.
And we know that 2035, we're gonna be doing this all over again.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, 10
that's
years.
just with all the traffic, maybe less, just
Yeah, you're
the
correct.
traffic goes in and everything,
Yeah,
and
that-
wait,
which is a good,
which is good.
absolutely. Guys, any comments? No? Good. All right, then I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that one's done, and this, 10L, which is the port container loading spout project tender award. Deputy Mayor, I think you've got that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, moved by myself and seconded by Joe Martell, the municipality council awards inner loading spout project number 300-221 to her system from the amount of $215,952, excluding HST, plus a contingency of 25% as recommended by the port committee.
Thank you, sir. Comments and questions?
Under budget, but we're just gonna take that, and probably put it towards something else. That's true, it's true, but at least we're under budget.
There's lots of investment in it.
Yep.
No?
And this one would be great, I can't wait.
Kevin, did you want to speak to this one at all or no?
No, everything is discussed in the board committee. I think it's a good thing for the board. I think it's a good grow on this edition. I think it'll be very positive and it'll gain traction momentum. It's time to on.
Yeah, I think well, before I call the question anyways, I think it's safe to say that we're all pretty excited about this one. And the growth potential with this one, I think we all recognize this one's a beauty. I passed them on the 401, they must have been heading back. I think I was on my way back to Brockville, and I was either Thursday or Friday, and I passed a horse. I'd never noticed their vehicles before, but it's white and blue, and then they've got a whole bunch of rebar on a trailer behind them, and I was like, man, I'm pretty sure I know where they were using the rebar, so. further, guys, at all?
No, echoing your thoughts though, that, this is exciting. I think this is
It's a
a good initiative for a little bit of extra business for sure, so.
Diversity. Then I'll call the question, all in favor? Good. Simple, simple, simple. So far, you're through it, Kevin, with no controversy. All right, we are on, I think this is your last one, 10M, which is the receiving area upgrades for pre-engineered building, excuse me, Councilor Martel.
Moved by myself, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stephen Dillabaugh, that municipal council one award the pre-engineered building portion project number 300-580 to RD Steel Construction in the amount of $767,629, including HST plus the 10% contingency, and to authorize the Port General Manager to execute and contract with RD Steel Construction on behalf of the township. It threw me with that hashtag, almost a hashtag.
They'll turn the dollar sign into next. Comments or questions on this, we guys?
I guess through the chair, if possible, to Kevin. So we had a $2.3 million budget for all the work down there. We've approved the foundation work, if you will, as well for. I can't remember that number, and this 800K on top of that. What are we roughly at as far as our spend so far against that? And what's the last person left to do, I guess, is the other thing.
Okay, what we've, I guess, approved the spend, we already haven't, issued any checks yet for the work. The foundation work was 940,000, which was approved. We projected the building to be around 750,000. You see the low bid was actually 767, 629 on the action item. The remaining balance for expenses in 2024 will be about 565K, which takes it to about 2.27 million of the 2.3. However, in 2025, we'll still have about $640,000 to spend to finish the project. That's to rehabilitate the floor on pit 6, to enlarge that receiving hopper as well, to increase its throughput, and modify the conveyor going into that lot. So that will be what's left in next year.
And that's the 575 or so can go towards that, or do we have the plan for the 575 this year as well?
The 575 will cover, we've got the receiving set built and order conveyor with some mechanical hookups and setups. We have some electrical work to do for the project. And we have I think the engineering work should be taken care of, but there's also contingency of additional engineering.
I think it's just lastly, just to affirm, I guess, so putting this structure up will help us to alleviate the moisture getting down into the grade, into the pits and everything else. That's part of this.
Yeah, that was to cover 6 pit because it's right at the edge of the building. Auditor picked up that were too close, allows the weather to come in, especially when it's raining. We could take trailers and tipped up. The water acts to slide, fires the rain out of the rain into the pit, which is another for good long-term quality.
No, appreciate that. We want to get that I don't want to call it an audit finding from the European agencies, but that audit, call it warning, if you will, if we want to get that result. So it just sounds good to me. I know it's expensive, but
in addition, the building will house a new container orange bed and another receiver.
okay, thanks.
Stephen?
Yeah, so I just gotta get this straight out. So you're saying that, roughly right now, we have what, 1.7 million with the, I call it the foundation and with the building?
That's right.
So we got what, 500 left in the 2.3 budget, and you're saying it's gonna cost 6.25 to finish everything up next year?
Right.
Okay, so we're only gonna be over 125. Because this 500 is gonna be, no?
Totally be over about 600K.
Okay, so what's the 500 gonna be for?
It
It's
is
left.
for the electrical,
Okay.
conveyors, the motors.
Yeah. 500, and then the 625 for 2025 is gonna be,
For the concrete repair work,
yeah,
another hopper, another conveyor.
So we gotta expect 6.25 coming in. That's cap in 2025. Okay, so we are 1.7, so we're over 625. Roughly.
Well, yeah.
Guys, anyone? No, thank you. Did you, anything to add to it? I mean, I know we debated it pretty thoroughly. Or anything to add?
No, really, there's nothing to add from my side. It's, because the foundation was a little higher than expected, but,
Yeah,
but that's the way costs go now since COVID with the supply chain and things. I thought at most I would have been weeded out by now, but it seems to still be hanging around. It could be more of a
This was a very competitive bid though, too, wasn't it? Wasn't there like,
foundation. Yeah, we was in 10%.
yeah, and there were a lot of people bidding. Is this the one that had like a list of people?
Yeah, we had 3 bids on it.
Okay.
We had 6 people visit the site for the site.
At least it's competitive, which is good.
and I think it's better the way, excuse me,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
to Kevin, I think it's great the way you broke it down, of foundation, building in different sections, because you have more people. Some companies could do the foundation, but can do the building, so on and so forth. Because wasn't this project, we kept trying to put it all together, and we just couldn't get
Yeah,
the
we
company out
we
to.
put it in for tender last October
Right,
and got no bids.
yeah,
Um,
so it's
it's a-
great that you came up with.
It's a little more work for the port to manage,
Mm-hmm,
which is fine.
mm-hmm,
But it should end up in some cost savings as well, because we do break it down, because the pieces are going in individually. More people bid. So,
Right.
And then we get guys, when they take out a general project, they will carry more costs because they're not familiar with that particular type of work. So now we're focused on getting people that are focused on their particular area of expertise, so we're getting more consent.
right,
Which is good. Better work. too.
yeah, so.
This one's been talked about for a long time, right? Because this is the one, like, I mean, not just last year, but I think as a place, like, we've had this in as a placeholder, I think maybe since I joined council. Does that make sense? The
Yeah,
floor
I
and
think
the floor and
it's
the
been
shop.
almost a year and a half, I would say.
So it's been a while.
Because we had struggles getting the engineering going and how far to take the engineering, because a couple of the potential bidders said like, don't waste your money on your engineering, because we take care of all of it. That's what we had with the Logan Sputter experience. Where they said, thanks for doing the engineering, but it's our liability, our
You wanna do their own.
reputation,
Yeah.
so we're going to take care of ourselves.
Makes
And we had a couple of companies that wanted to bid that way, but then just declined to bid. It was, they were busy with other things and just couldn't fit it in, so
Is what it is. All right, further comments, questions before we move ahead? All right, and then I'll call the question, all in favor? Good. That was Al. We're on it, or we just finished on?
We did, and we're on it.
We're on it. So that finishes does that finish our port portion? Of everything that's on there?
Yeah.
Just before we go on to N, I just, want to make it clear, approving these amounts, I didn't add them all up. What the totals were, Steve's probably got a running tally over there, but it's certainly the commitment of the Port Management Committee, the staff and the council to continue the good work that is being done there. And, it is that old, the old building, and it requires constant upgrades. We've said that forever, and making sure that those upgrades constantly get done. And that's evidenced here. And I think these last 3 or 4 things, the last 3 things, I guess, that we moved forward, and they're not the only projects. I think there's 28 on the budget for capital, I think, projects, and these are only 3 of 28. So, fantastic, good commitment. Kevin, you absolutely do not have to stay for the rest of the meeting. If you want to leave,
Yeah.
feel free,
Yeah,
your
if you wanna
portion's over.
stay.
We welcome you. We love if you'd stay with us. We love when there's people here, so
Don't feel pressure.
don't feel any pressure.
Well, thank you very much for entertaining the action item this evening. It wasn't our intent to bypass the Port Management Committee. It's just they need an extension in order to prepare the bids.
Yes.
We couldn't prepare it. So it was not our intent to do that, but I appreciate you allowing me to come.
I actually forgot that we had to do it in that order to make sure that we got it approved, because it has to come to council to be approved, and it wouldn't have happened until end of June.
June.
And we wanted to get it out sooner. I completely forgot to mention that. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah.
I appreciate that in order to keep the project moving forward. It was, thank you for allowing me a little bit of time.
Yeah, no, it's good.
No problem.
It's good. We gotta get, we're aggressive. We gotta keep it moving. All right, so 10N noise bylaw 2021-70 exemption request. Council or?
Okay, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Joe Martell, that municipal council grant Ms. Barb Tobin and Mr. John Walsh a one-time exemption from the noise bylaw 2021-70 to host a family wedding at 125 Moore Road on June 22nd, 2024.
Thank you very much. All right, discussion on exemption for noise bylaw comments.
Just,
questions?
you know, Ms. Tobin and Mr. Waltz, to even bring that up, I think it's great. I mean, people would do that, probably zero.
Mhm.
I was a little concerned, I thought it was at their house, and then when they said the mover, I said, okay, that's at the family cottage, I'm all for it, 'cause they're living in St. Lawrence Street, I do believe they're in that subdivision, so. No, I think it's great that they even approached us. I know them both. And hope they have a good wedding.
Yep.
Beautiful day for it, so I'm all for it.
Yep, good.
I don't
Anybody?
need more discussion on that.
It's a new one for me. We haven't seen anything like this yet, but, I mean, it's a couple hours looking for basically in the evening after the bylaw closes. Hopefully they also reach out to their neighbors and make sure everybody's okay with it.
It'd probably be all there.
That's what I kind of thought too, we're a small town, right? So.
Well, I would echo the comments of the deputy mayor, certainly think that it's a fantastic work on their part to reach out and actually ask for an exemption to it. It's a kind of a no-brainer for us to do,
Lot of
but it's
comments.
nice that they're actually going the step that they should, so. Hearing no further comments, then I'm just gonna ask the question, all in favor? All right, moving on then to the road program tender award, item O, Councillor Smail.
Thank you, Rick. Movement myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martell, that the municipal council award the 2024 road program to G. Tackerberry and Sons Construction Company Limited and direct staff to work with the lower bidder to reduce project scope to within budget.
All right, I think before we discuss, I'll go to CAO for maybe the update to this project, and then we'll discuss that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we tendered the project. We had 4 submissions. As you can tell from the submissions, they were very close. It was very competitive. Low bidder was G. Tackerberry and Sons. The low bid is approximately 100,000 over what our total budget was for 2024. The other caveat is that as we did more recon with respect to South Street and the underground infrastructure, there are some additional repairs that would be required to be undertaken. So our recommendation would be to reduce the scope, remove what we would call sub-project number 3, Spencerville, add that into the 2025, so we can do some additional underground infrastructure work and have that included in the 2025 package. That would bring us down under budget, give us a little bit of contingency for the remainder of the other projects. And in the end, instead of doing, 6.9 kilometers, we'll end up doing just a little over 6.5. So it's still a very aggressive road program for the township to undertake, and it gives us a little bit of flexibility with respect to coming within budget.
Okay, thank you for the update, CAO. All right, discussion, comments.
First, yeah, more.
I just have, and I don't want to take this the wrong way, make it into a negative, but I hope this could be a lesson in experience for all of us. We come out and budget for these things. And, we look at the road, but we don't look what's under it. We're worried about it, you know, it's all beat up, but in this incident, we never got a CCTV there until, I don't know when, until this year, I guess, so. I'm hoping that from now on, that, for an example, if we're doing Middle Street, we're gonna bring it through 2025 budget. I hope we do this CCTV now in the summer, and then we know exactly what we have on top and what we have underground to deal with when our budget comes in the fall of September. You said that we're gonna work with the contractor. Is he okay with taking out project number 3? Or do we know yet, or?
Through
Do
the
the chair this
mayor,
year?
yeah, I think through the mayor, I've had a verbal conversation with the low bidder, understanding the circumstance, with that underground infrastructure, but also, bringing it within the scope, of what the budget was. My sense is that they are quite fine with it, understanding.
So, do the chair to the CEO, so we're gonna take out water south and Henderson. We're doing project number 3 is completely gone, 430 meters, is that right?
Through the mayor, that is correct, because the feeling is with South Street, it ties into Water Street, so there may be something there, and there just isn't to bring in a subcontractor of the main bidder to do one small section on Henderson.
Understand.
It doesn't make sense from their end.
And I think they probably appreciate what you're doing and taking everything right off the plate, so, no, good call.
And if I may just add, Mr. Mayor, that understandable comments that the deputy mayor made. And one of the items that we're looking to do is to be bringing back the road program that we're looking for in 2025 much earlier, so that we can get that preliminary work done and sort of end up being 1 year ahead.
Yeah.
Instead of doing a little counting, so.
Good call.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry,
Wait, go ahead.
thank you, I'm not really. I don't know why, I kept thinking we had Cedar Grove on this, but do we have Cedar Grove for engineering this year, or nothing on Cedar Grove at all? For some reason, I thought Cedar Grove was one of
I thought we
the.
had a big chunk this year on.
So that's sub-project number 2, it's 1.2 kilometers of Cedar Grove.
Okay, so it
It's
is
a
on.
big chunk.
Cedar Grove Road is on from basically
No, we,
a setback from I'll call it 60.
Okay, sorry, 1270, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
well,
I don't know why I missed it,
Right,
progress number 2. Okay, yeah,
It's just, it's labeled under Johnstown.
Yeah. no, okay, I guess I was concentrating on project 3 when you said we did. Good, okay, no, I'm happy, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
does that leave Fraser to Noe then for next year? Was that the part that didn't go in this year?
Well, we'll see.
Through the mayor, that would certainly be one of the many projects that we're bringing forward.
All right, fair
for,
enough. I should have asked. Pandora's box.
Yeah.
All right, so Councilor Ward.
No, fair enough, and you know, I agree, I guess, with option 1 being one of the options you proposed there, where we just don't do it because I don't want to have to come back and do this again, and you know, I hear what the deputy mayor said, but I recall the conversation with budget, we had on list a mile, 20 miles, 20 kilometers long essentially, and we filtered through it, and I think, but I do think to your point, we grasped what we're trying to do for next year, and then I think we'll hopefully do better going forward, which is great, but it was a long list, and I don't think you could have preliminarily done everything at that time either, but when we looked at that list, so, but you know, it's good to know that we're just being proactive like this, so that's fine with me.
Listen.
I think it's a great idea, and I really like what Steve brought up, and I think Dave probably thought of it before even Steve brought it up about pre-scoping the roads before early on, so I'm glad we're going in and do with this stuff.
Other than Councillor Ward's great pun there, no.
I will say this, I certainly support the option to put it off. However, in my own sense is that, we only have 4 years. And we chose this year to be super aggressive, and I get that with roads, so that we would have other years to do other things. I know we're putting 100,000 back into reserves this year, and I just, I think every single year that we let infrastructure projects that we could do not get done, it's 1 year down the road, and we can afford it. I wish I really wanted to do it. I understand that we'll do it next year and that money will be there. Just seems like every year costs continue to escalate. They rarely go down. So the cost of this project will be higher next year because we're putting it off from this year. I don't want to alone go on that one.
No.
Okay, further comments at all? Nope. Okay, then I'm gonna call the question. All in favor?
Oh, what option we taking? One?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
I think we got 3 options here. 1, 2, and 3.
There is no option on the,
Well, the option,
So, through the mayor, we put forward option 1, which
it's
is,
the recommendation, right?
it is a recommendation.
Yeah, is the recommendation is option 1, and that's, yeah.
Good.
Good. You don't. 10P, township mileage rate. Oh. Have a drink of water first.
Moved by myself and second by Joe Martel, whereas the township last updated the mileage rate for use of personal vehicles in 2008 with a rate of 0.465 per kilometer. And whereas the government of Canada to the National Joint Council and adopted by the Canada Revenue Agency sets automobile mileage rates for business related driving with a personal vehicle, which is annually updated to reflect the following factors: vehicle prices, depreciation, financing rates, current fuel prices, insurance premium rates, and vehicle operating costs. And whereas the annual updated mileage rate seen through the government of Canada has a standardized formula to effectively calculate the overall kilometer rates accordingly to the factors outlined above. And whereas in 2024, the automobile mileage rates in 2024 are as follows: 0.770 cents per kilometer for the first 5,000 kilometers driven, and 64 cents per kilometer driven thereafter. And therefore, let it be resolved, the municipality council sets the township mileage rate for the use of personal vehicles in accordance with the rate which is approved annually through the government of Canada. And further, the municipality council repeat resolution 2008-570.
You made it. All right, discussion.
Good to see. I'm gonna start claiming it.
Nothing?
Joe, you can't, you never drive.
I will if nobody else.
I will, I had something as well. I was just trying to see if anybody else was gonna jump in, but it's obviously we're just joining with the rate by, not by default, but that the government of Canada sets, if I'm reading this correctly, is with. Why is that not just, and maybe we have to do a bylaw every time, just a policy we have, because it looks like we last updated it, but what was it? 15 years ago, 2008. Why would we not just annually update with whatever the government of Canada has? Through the chair. sorry.
Through the mayor, this was sort of the discussion, and that's why we're bringing this forward, so that each year we would just annually update it to the.
All right,
What
thank you.
that rate is, so that it doesn't end up being almost,
Double.
exactly.
I will say, I was pleasantly surprised when I saw this one was included. I certainly flagged this one in the last term. As someone who hasn't claimed any mileage over my time, I did feel though that the rate in 2008, it's 2024. It's time for an update for sure. Anything from 2008 needs to be updated. I remember our conversation then when we debated it, that the gas prices were the highest that they ever were in 2008. So price is reflective of gas prices for today. So and mileage costs for today. And I think it's very fair and well needed. And I hope that we continue to update it every year. That way it's never an issue again. Further, anyone? Oh, no. All right, then I'm gonna call the question. All in favor? You put your hand up.
Yep.
Municipal correspondence, Councilor Martell.
Moved by myself, excuse me, seconded by Councilor Chris Ward. The Municipal Council receives correspondence listings for the following dates as previously circulated. May 2nd, 2024, May 9th, 2024, May 15, 2024, and May 22nd.
Thanks, Councilor Martell.
You're welcome.
Okay. Questions, comments, anything coming out of correspondence for anyone?
Yeah, I can't really know, it was on the May 22nd one. There was a letter we got from a resident on Lennox Road just about traffic going through that area, kids in the area, things like that. I have had some chats with the CAO currently and looking into a bit of that, but it is something that I've witnessed it myself, where especially that road seems to be a good bypass if you get behind a slow moving vehicle. They seem to want to go through there and into 44 going northbound or southbound, so I can see the concern. So just
Brought it forward.
Into it and
Brought it forward for a CDC meeting at some point this summer or something like that.
maybe we'll see what we're looking at right now, but we'll go from that second. But
Okay. Anyone else?
Excuse me, that one on Lennox, for curiosity, that's our street. Is there any signs on the kilometers now? It's posted on any of those streets, just not Lennox, but any of those streets in that subdivision?
Through the mayor. I can't comfortably say I am anticipating that there is not a speed posted on that particular street or location. Typically, through the Highway Traffic Act, unless it is a posted speed limit, it would be 80 in the rural areas, and then the built-up areas would be reduced down to 50.
Down to what?
50.
That high, yeah?
Good.
So just through the chair, sort of that as a follow-up. So you would think that Lennox and Baker, it would be a 50 zone, or do you think?
Through the mayor, I would say that they would be a 50 zone. Yes, and like in fairness, I'll use the example in the village of Cardinal, Dodge Street. There's a no exit location that probably has 200 or 300 feet. Technically is a 50 kilometer an hour. It's really meant to, because it's not posted.
Pretty hard to get 50 kilometers from one place until you're in the bush. On Dodge. No, on Dodge, really.
You would certainly hope that.
Just someone that thought it'd be that high. I thought maybe 40.
Okay. So when it comes to correspondence listings, if there are things from correspondence that we want pulled for further discussion at council meetings or committee meetings, we can pull those things from it. This isn't a debate. This is just on receiving correspondence. So if you want to discuss speed limits in the towns, then let's bring a motion forward during inquiries, and we'll discuss speed limits. Otherwise, let's approve the correspondence or received correspondence. Good. Guys, good. Okay, I'm gonna call the question then. All in favor? All right, disbursements, Counselor Smail.
Thank you, Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Joe Martell. The municipal council receives the payment of municipal invoices calculated and dated as follows. Reported dated April 29th, 2024 65, $62,975.58. Reported date April 29th, 2024 66, $66,128.58. Reported dated May 13th, 2024 82, $27,350. Reported dated May 14th, 2024 80-83, $270,353.10. Reported date May 16th, 2024 84, $387,029.67. Reported date May 22nd, 2024 85, $510,135.62. A total of $1,323,972.55.
Receiving the payments of the municipal invoices, most of which I believe have already been paid. This is just receiving the invoices, correct? See nodding. Okay, questions or concerns with any of the invoices? Disbursements, whatever. Typically, what would happen, I guess, is that when they're reviewed by individual members, they ask any of the questions in advance to staff. If there's further concern, then they bring the question forward and open, or if they feel the need that it be brought forward and open. So, Chris, you look like you're.
I do, and I realized I forgot to ask about it, but I was just
Okay.
wondering what hatch certifications is, if you will. But we spent $7,200 on it this year, but I don't know what that certification is for.
Okay, Deputy Mayor actually, through the chair to Councilor Ward, the Deputy Mayor actually asked that question. So what that is for a water plant, they have to certify and inspect 14 pieces of equipment. So we get a third party to do that, to make sure that everything's working properly. So while it's expensive, it is important that we do those certifications every year.
Thank you. That's good.
Good. Okay, then I'll call a question on the disbursements. All in favor? Good. Right, so we're on the bylaw portion. 13A, which is amend bylaw 2023-06, Committee of the Whole, Community Development Committee appointment. Councilor Ward, I believe you have that.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councilor Joe Martell, that the mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to amend bylaw 2023-06 to appoint members and representatives to certain boards and committees, and this shall constitute first and second reading thereof.
Alright, so mover be granted leave to introduce bylaw to amend the bylaw to appoint members and representatives to certain boards and committees that shall constitute first and second reading thereof. All right, questions or comments on first and second reading? Hearing none, then I'll call the question. Forgot, I almost forgot. Call the question, all in favor? Okay, you can proceed to third.
Okay, moved by myself and seconded by Councilor Joe Martell, that a bylaw to amend bylaw 2023-06 to appoint members and representatives to certain boards and committees be now read a third and final time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-26.
Okay, so third reading, it's that a bylaw, or excuse me, a bylaw to amend bylaw 2023 to appoint members and representatives to certain boards and committees now be read a third and final time, finally passed. Signed, sealed, number 2024-26. Is this the actual? Right,
That's the next one.
it's the next.
Page 104, if you're looking for it.
Yeah, I'm on 106. So what are we doing then right at the moment? Refresh my memory. How?
Appointing Brody Fair Group, removing the two other members that have resigned.
That's what we're doing right now, right? So it doesn't mention his name in this, that we're just amending the bylaw, but that's who we are appointing.
Through the
Is
chair,
Mr.
the
Fair.
public went through the actual package,
Yeah.
then they would see the attached bylaw that shows the names.
Yeah, okay, so it is the removal of officially of Dave Dobie and Kimberly Martin from CDC due to resignations. And this will make the appointment of Brody Farengruber as one, and we'll still continue to look for another, correct? Yeah, okay, just for those that watch video maybe instead read. Further comments or questions on that?
Just one, I guess, quick question. So, if we approve today, if we approve this third reading, that'll be for next week's meeting, I guess, it'll be for next meeting, week's meeting, okay.
Yeah, good. Then I'll call the question. All in favor? Good. Welcome, Mr. Farengruber. See an introduction package, and then you'll swear him in, is that?
Through the chair, we provide him, again, he's already received it, terms of reference for the committee. The full package on that, as well as the code of conduct for committee members.
Yep.
And we'll provide him with a couple of other, awesome issues. The CDC will give him an overview, depending on availability and everything. We'll see if he'll be able to attend next Monday and see what his comfort level is.
Okay, good. Perfect. All right, so then 13B, amend bylaw 2023-07, Public Library Board appointment. Councilor Martel.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Chris Ward, that the mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to amend bylaw 2023-07 to appoint members of the Edwardsburg Cardinal Public Library, and this shall constitute first and second reading thereof.
First and second reading to amend and appoint members for the library board. Any comments or questions on the first and second? Hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? All in favor? Then we can proceed to third.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Chris Ward, that a bylaw amend bylaw 2023-07 to appoint members of the Edwardsburg Cardinal Public Library Board be now read a third and final time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and delivered, and numbered 2024-27.
Come on, Joe, it's like 20 after 7. We're on a record pace here.
Okay, listen.
All right, so this one sees the removal of, or due to resignation, not removal, that sounded wrong. It was not a removal by any means. It was a resignation by Mr. Tim East. And Pat Tierney would be the replacement, right, for the library board. Do we have any other vacancies on the library board, or is it just the one? Just the one? Yeah, okay. All right, so everybody understands. Okay, for comments, questions? No? Then I will call the question. All in favor? Certainly want to extend thank you to Mr. East, to Mr. Dobie and Ms. Martin for the work that they've done on our boards and their commitment that they've shown to their townships. Their help on committees is fantastic, and it certainly helps make the township a better place. So thanks for them for the time that they took out of their lives to help us for the last one. Appreciate it. Seeing I jumped the gun earlier and welcomed Jess before we appointed her, we're now going to go through appointing her. Deputy Mayor Dillabaugh, you have that to bring
It's
forward.
my pleasure. Moved by myself and seconded by Councilor Martel that the mover be granted a leave to introduce a bylaw to appoint a treasurer, and this shall constitute the first and second reading thereof.
All right, first and second reading to appoint the new treasurer. Comments, questions? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? You can proceed to third.
Thank you. Again, my pleasure. Moved by myself and seconded by Mr. Martel that the bylaw to appoint the treasurer be now read the third and final time, finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-2028.
Comments or questions, Chris?
No, this is no time for joking around. No, this is good. In the role, and
I might just well know what she's getting into.
well, I was gonna say we're back us into a corner, but
She
you know,
signed
that's
in
not
now.
true, actually, no, this is a good. You know, it's good to have a new person here, obviously, that help us with our succession planning as well. So thank you very much for anyone welcome.
Steve, any comments?
No, happy to see you on board, Jessica.
Joe?
Welcome aboard, speech.
Put you on the spot already. Waddy, anything?
Yeah, welcome aboard. It's nice to see. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on camera or not, but it looks like we're gonna get along forever. I don't know. How to put it.
I echo the. Yeah, you can tell we're not the crazy serious, well, we are super serious bunch, but we like to have fun at our job, and you'll come to realize that. That the group, as much as we joke, we like to fight, and but more importantly, we you know, we welcomed on some new employees. We welcomed on, you know, Sean and Candace over the last little while. Dave moved into new roles as well, and we continue to have an evolution of staff at the township. We're going to see several changes at the port in the upper and you know, that high end management level, and we're super excited to have somebody who's, you know, wants to grow with us and took the leap to grow with us, you know, as we grow as a township and as we grow as a group. It was exciting for me to see your resume and do your interview, and especially, you know, with the new CEO and the current treasurer, to, you know, have that discussion afterwards about what we both saw and you know, the potential that's there. And this place is brewing full of potential, and we're really excited about, you know, the team that's assembling and what it means for the, you know, for the next 2.5 or 3 years while we're here, and then beyond that. So welcome. We're really happy to have you part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't called the question yet, so fingers crossed. All in favor? That was a fun one myself. Okay, all right.
Well, that's very good.
We're not gonna fight yet. What's the next one? Amend zoning bylaw 2022-37, 2460 Ruby Road, Smith, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Mr. Martell that the move be granted leave to introduce the bylaw to amend zoning bylaw 2022-37 to Symphony Smith, part and park lot 5 in rear registered plan 52460 Rooney Road. And this shall constitute the first and second reading thereof.
Okay, first and second reading on 2460 Rooney Road. Comments, questions? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Proceed to third.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Mr. Martell that the bylaw to amend zoning bylaw 2022-37 Symphony Smith, part and park, lot 5 in rear of registered plan 52460 Rooney Road be now read a third and final time. Finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-29.
All right. Further comments, questions on amendment to zoning bylaw 2022-37? The side that always talks. Anything on this side? All right. I love that look, Waddy. I'll call the question then. All in favor? Third reading. Good, unanimous. Okey-doke. All right, refreshment vehicle bylaw update, Councillor Smale.
Thank you, Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martell, that the mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to license, regulate, and govern refreshment carts and refreshment vehicles, and this shall constitute first and second reading thereof.
All right, first and second reading on the bylaw for regulation of refreshment carts and vehicles. Questions, comments in regard to first and second?
Just a comment, I'm glad to see the page 116, 125. Schedule A that refreshment cart youth age 17 and under 0. That's great to see. Kids can go and start their own business, so kudos for us for that.
Yep.
That's it. For me.
This is first and second, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Got you all excited.
I'll reserve mine.
Okay.
Further, anyone?
Section 3, just so we're, just want to make sure we're clear.
Page you on?
That is on page 111 and 125. Thank you, sorry about that. For insurance, the insurance only applies to refreshment vehicles, or does it also apply to refreshment parks, the $3 million?
Through the chair, during my research, it appears best practice that it applies to vehicles. They have more liability than someone that has a bike with a compartment attached to it. They take on their own more risk, and it falls under their own personal insurance for the most part. There's a lot more risk and liability associated with operating a mobile or not mobile actual refreshment vehicle per se. So we never had anything like this in the past. But after speaking with a couple people that are in the industry, as well as the health unit, it was advised that we incorporate something like that. And just as part of the application, they need to show us that they have that.
And just for this to follow up then, so the refreshment vehicles we already have in existence, they're not grandfathered in, they'll have to get insurance if they don't already have it after that $2 million rate then? Would be.
Through the chair, they should already have it.
Yeah. Okay.
And in future years, when they make their application, they do have to submit it as part of it.
Thank you, that's what I have.
First and second, right? Yeah, we're still on first and second. Okay, further comments, questions? Okay, hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? Okay, go to third.
Thank you, Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Joe Martell, that a bylaw to license, regulate, and govern refreshment carts and refreshment vehicles be now read a third and final time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-30.
Yeah, third reading. Further comments? Anyone?
You.
Yeah, I wrote a couple. I did write a couple of comments, but I think there's a couple things that I think. So I was concerned, and I did discuss this with CAO, I was concerned about potential proximity to restaurants. And in direct competition for such short months of the season and not really having to pay any tax. So potentially somebody locating one in a parking lot near a restaurant, and there's only so much business. So I was a little concerned about that. However, upon reflection and upon discussion, we realized, that two of them we've already got on the same piece of property. And they seem to be working quite well together. The other one's owned by the same person who owns one of the restaurants. And right now, unless Nikki put one in hers, there really isn't anywhere else. I think that one could go close to an existing restaurant. So, short of, yeah, potentially, I guess, maybe, I guess lastly, the other concern was, making sure that we didn't, for events and festivals and things like that. So when we have Canada Day, when we have Labor Day, when we have Spencerville Fair, when we have all of the festivals and events that we have, that this doesn't apply to, when Spencerville Fair has 4 or 5 food trucks for 4 or 5 days, that, I just wanted to make sure that didn't apply to them. My only question when it came to insurance was, does the insurance apply to them on those festivals, or are they excluded from the insurance portion of it?
To share the way that it's currently written, we're waiving the fees. It is up to council to make otherwise, but currently we're only really requesting that they receive a fire inspection by the fire chief. That's been a struggle in the past. And it is due to safety that's our key priority for those events.
Yep. And the fire inspection is no charge to the applicant, right? We're not nickel and diming everybody. We're just concerned about safety. We just want to make sure that they have that forward.
And through the chair, if I may, TSSA comes in annually to do their inspection. Before they open it, every year, yeah, for, the CO2, make sure the CO2 and all the natural gases were the problems, and you've got coverage there. We're like a lot of protection.
Good. Good.
Through the chair, on that same topic, I didn't have a food truck, but I did rent a booth last year for the Central Fair, and there was an insurance requirement over the total. You know, I think that those things already have their insurance requirement as well. So, yeah.
Okay, good. And I guess last, worth noting, and I think one of you two guys noted it already, but at no time do, children wishing to be, very small businesses and that are showing that, entrepreneurial spirit, will they get hit with a fee to manage or to regulate or their little ice cream cart as they pedal around Johnstown or Spencerville or Cart? So
Come right to my door now.
that's right. Knock, 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 Mr. Dillabaugh.
My door does.
Klondike Bar.
I don't think they had a wall over there, buddy. You're gonna have to up there anyway.
You never know.
Come on the sidewalk, Lee. All right, so, third reading then, right? Third and final time, yes, all right, so further comments, jokes, comments, questions?
Were you taking jokes?
No,
So through
no.
the kid that used to come to Johnstown, does he know we meet here now?
That's right, actually, we'll have to invite Will. Right, cause he used to sit in the parking lot outside the, yeah, he's gonna be down some money.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Already is.
Sales are gonna be down a little.
Sales are down, I'll warn Will. All right, all joking aside, third and final reading, call the question then, all in favor? Yeah. Long overdue, I think. I think it's good. It's not a crazy high amount to regulate, the carts, but it certainly, you know, makes them pay us a small, at least a small fee. You know, to be located in the township, but it's certainly not equal to what a restaurant would pay in taxation, but you know, at least it's something. CAO's administrative update. And I'm looking at the CAO, but I think there's a twist.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, but I would say with the passing of the bylaw that you just did earlier this evening, I will basically turn that over to J.O. Nicholson, really.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, as always, just go through, give some select items from the report. Happy to answer any questions on anything that's in here. Just starting at the top with administration and economic development, South Granville District High School partnership. We have arranged a date and a time in early June, so June 10th, I believe, is the day that we've settled on to hand over the couple of projects that they've been working on for the benches, and looking forward to getting that underway. On the planning side, we will be starting the recruitment process for an in-house planner. Hope to get that out later this week. And we do have an agreement with Prescott and Augusta to share the services of that plan. Navigate social service mapping. The Help Seeker has created the social service mapping for us. Edits are in progress, and the tool is on track to launch publicly by the end of the summer. The bylaw, in early spring, we will identify the clean yards and give the owners time to gain compliance. So May is always about education, not enforcement. And in June, hopefully, we'll see some cleanup. Moving on to Treasury, again, welcome Jessica. That's our treasurer. For the ADP project, we are on track for Q2 completion. So the first pay on ADP should be in July, and that will mean all of our timesheets will be digital. And for anyone that's an approver, they'll be able to approve on their phone or their computer. And anybody that's entering a timesheet can do the same through their phone or computer. And the same with all the time off requests, all that goes away, and we will go on. Fantastic. For facilities, staff training, everyone is all trained up, ready to go for the summer season. With the pride flags, they will go up May 31st for the month of June. Hanging baskets should all be in this week. we're offering an inflatables day, free to the public, inflatable day, June 8th, and from 9 to noon at the Ingredion Arena. Summer staff, as I mentioned, have all been hired and all have training in place prior to opening. As far as the pools, the Cardinal Pool, the inspection will be on June 19th. Everything's on track for completion of that project. The Johnstown Pool should be open on June 8th with the official grand opening on June 23rd. On the boat launch, registration process has gone well with over 175 registered.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, to, your treasurer,
You can do it at the end.
or the CEO. Okay, I'll do it to the end. Go ahead, Mr.
Okay.
CEO.
And as far as the Electrical Safety Authority, some minor items to repair, but speaking with the inspector, commented how pleased he was with overall compliance. Moving on to operations, routine work ongoing, such as bridge washing, leaf and yard waste collections, has been completed in the towns and villages. Scott Road waste transfer site will be open extended hours on May 28th for leaf and yard waste drops. For equipment updates, we did get our tandem truck that we had ordered back in 2023 and was put into service on May 23rd, 2024. We also have we have a new utility trailer, 6 foot by 12 foot wood deck in service on May 22nd, and is to be shared between Parks and Public Works. Tenders, we've put a tender out for our re-tendering our tandem truck and snowplow. Will go out May 21st and will close on July 2nd. The Weir Bridge project started last week. Notices were provided in advance through social media and also through Municipal 511. Moving on to environmental services, the HACH completed their annual lab equipment verifications, and hydrant flushing ongoing throughout the township. For Spencerville wastewater system, replace the capacitor and pump starters for pump station number 1 and service the base plate assembly for North Pump number 1. And lastly, for emergency preparedness, there was an information night on May 9th that was publicized in the newspaper, social media, and local radio station. Approximately 20 residents attended. The event was held in Prescott as a central location for the 3 municipalities. If the event was to run again, all agreed it would be better attended on the weekend and or held in conjunction with another event. And that concludes CAO's update.
There we go. All right. Weekend update, Saturday Night Live. Deputy Mayor, you had a question,
I forgot,
or several.
I forgot.
No, you.
Page 119, the South Dakota District's high school partnership.
Yeah.
That real world learning, I think it's great, and I don't want to lose, I want to keep this project going in partnership with our township, because I don't want this to lose sight on this presentation by Ms. Hunter and Mr. East here. I think it's something that we will benefit, and kids in the high school. I would even like to see if we can't go maybe to St. Mary's in Rockford, because we have a lot of students that would be going to Catholic school up there. Maybe they have some kind of program like that, but I'm all for it, and I just don't want to lose that sight that it's such an important for the kids when we listen to them here the other day. We sure got an eye opener, and I think it's just great. So I don't want to lose that. Thank you.
Just
Yeah, go ahead.
having, just to touch on that,
Sure.
you know, having discussions with Ms. Hunter, or Ms. Heward, I guess. That project is, I mean, the plan is to continue that, you know, forward for the foreseeable future. The school and the school board is quite happy to have municipal partners. It's
I want
hard
to-
to imagine that in the past that hasn't been a productive relationship for some reason, but
Yeah, really.
we certainly encourage it. I think we're all excited about it, and
Mhm.
and it was fun to have them here. So I look forward to seeing the end result. Sorry.
Looking forward to the new chicken coop. Boat launch registration process, gone good, 175 registered, so that's 175 non-residents, is that right?
I'm gonna assume that's total registrants. Unfortunately, the facilities manager isn't here tonight. So he had done this before he went on vacation. So I'm not sure if it's 175 total or 175 non-residents. Total.
It's total, I thought Mike said the first time we asked him, it was up in the 1500s.
No,
No, eh?
no. I thought it was 150.
130?
I thought it was 90 out of town, or 90 in town, 60 out of town, something,
Okay.
something like that.
So it's 175 total, okay, so we're going in the right directions,
No, it's fantastic. It's great.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
good.
And I mean, it's only reasonable that there wouldn't be that many more as the year goes
July,
on.
you'll have a
Because
lot.
Yeah, you
from
might have some
outside-
new ones. Yeah.
Outside, yeah,
Yeah.
July from Quebec will be big for the 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Further, you good?
No, I'm great.
Good, Chris?
I can't say enough about, I've already shared it on social media today across, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 10 platforms, I don't know. But, I had so many residents last year, so many people on Facebook, and I had a few emails and stuff. Not that it's would be something that necessarily comes from council, but just anybody you're talking to that you know has kids or grandkids, that inflatables day, the kids had so much fun last year. Spread the word as best we can, you know, it's always hard to get the word out, so if we can do that, that'd be great, because it was really a nice setup. Staff did a great job last year, and it was, you know, it could have been better attended essentially.
Yeah.
You know, I think we had 100 people, you know, well, 100 kids there basically, and it could have probably had 4 times that amount of kids and still been comfortable, so, yeah, you know. So that's what I had there.
Share.
Yeah, exactly, share. Anybody you're talking to, and otherwise, I just want to apologize publicly. I'm sorry I was unable to get to the firefighters appreciation dinner. I hope it sounds like it went really well, which is great. We do that once a year for them, and then just you know, I guess my personal thanks for another great year to the firefighters. So that's all I had there.
It's good. Absolutely. Thank you. See you now. Couple of comments, I think. Maybe 2 or 3. First, the delay, and I know that the facilities director isn't here.
What page, Mr. Mayor?
205,
I'm sorry,
205,
205?
no, 2 of 5.
Oh,
120, sorry.
okay, thank you very much.
The Johnstown tennis courts. I know it says weather delays. It's an ongoing and long project. You know, that spanned a couple of seasons. Is there a date we can anticipate the next step of the project moving forward?
I will have to
Okay.
talk with Mike when he's back from vacation.
If we can find out a little more information on where that project's at, I would.
I think from one, they were originally, the original design was for 3 courts.
2 pickleball, 1 tennis.
Yeah, but I think there was a way that they could fit 4 pickleball courts in there, so I think,
4 and a tennis?
I think so.
Let's just get some more information
Sure.
before we get into a
Okay.
debate here. It's just,
Sure.
I just. It's a long project that seems to be taking a
Long time.
very long time. I mean, paving started, then it was fencing, then it's lights, and I know we're waiting for the covering, but. If we can just get an update on that, maybe.
I'd like to go back on that.
Do you want to talk now, or do you want to just bring it?
Yeah, if I got Mr.
Mhm.
Mr. Mayor. So certainly I know the contractor that is doing the spraying and the installation of the nets is probably about 3 weeks behind due to the wet weather that we had this spring, so we're probably, I think I wanna say about another 3 weeks out before that coating. And then
3 from this week?
I believe spring from the last week when I was speaking with the managers of park rec and facilities before he left. So.
Okay.
So hopefully within the next few weeks that coating should be down.
How long do you have to stay off it after it's put on? Do you know?
Not 100% sure if it's like a 10 day curing period, or maybe it's a little bit more, but something runs in my mind that it's about a 10 day curing period.
So we're looking at the minimum of start of July then.
We're probably looking end of June, early July before it's up and functioning.
Oh, that would be the 1st of June. Now that we're on that topic, I didn't know Mike was on holidays. I apologize. I left him a voice. I already sent him an email like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Then I left him a voicemail today. We had some real bad issues up there with that tennis courts with after we put the fence in. There's big chunks of pavement out on that court, and it's cracking. And I don't know whose responsibility it is, but I'm just hoping that when they come in to do that coating, you don't have to worry about it, because it's around the edge of where they put the fence and the cement. Not a very good job if someone goes down with it. Workmanship's pretty shabby on that. And I asked Mike when I emailed him, and he never got back to me, and I left him a voice message today, because it's bad,
Mike,
all the way around.
Mike's off till the 10th.
Yeah, the manager of Parks and Recreation Facilities will be back June 10th.
So you won't get an answer till then.
We will look to do some follow-up that we can do.
Appreciate it, because it's in pretty bad shape. The cement's coming out now around where they put the posts in, so.
Did you email the CAO direct?
I didn't, the CEO, I did the Mike.
So maybe CAO and CC Mike, and then the
Yeah.
CAO can deal. Okay, my next one was the no mow May discussion. Just so that everyone's clear on it, in May, there is this was an issue for council meeting, that sort of stuff. So bylaw does not ticket, they educate in May, they do not ticket until June. So moving forward, if folks want to do no mow May, then they're still going to get issued the warning. They're still going to get issued the educational portion for our Clean Yards bylaw. And if it's not cut by June, they will get tickets in June. But we certainly support their want to do no mow May. We just don't want no mow May turning into no mow June, July, August, September, and October. So I know in the past, council's worked really hard to continue with the Clean Yards bylaw and makes every attempt to continue to hold a minimum standard that is that hard to achieve. So we don't want to lose sight of that. But we do want to respect the fact that others want to help with bees. We had a bee thing on here tonight. So kind of managing the best of both worlds. So it really wasn't a question, it was more a comment than it was a question, but.
Yeah, I just also wanted to mention that I told you about a page in my report when I was giving my report, so I didn't mean to not
can go
mention
back.
anything about the fire department, so. I turned my pages too quickly, so again, to echo.
Well, there is a fire department.
Yeah, to echo Councillor Ward's comments, the firefighter appreciation dinner took place on May 10th and was well attended. For training, Chief and Training Officer will be meeting with South Dundas to discuss potential training opportunities. On the fleet side, tanker 1 deficiencies have been corrected. An air pressure monitor module had to be shipped and wasn't installed by staff. As far as facilities, the RFP for a fire station 2 feasibility study has been issued. and they'll do the geotech and development of the site. And we'll see that later in the year. And then the Firefighters Association is preparing to compete in this year's EOFA convention being hosted at Prescott on June 15th.
There we go. Okay. Does that add anything for anyone? Does anybody want? No, nothing on fire. No. Okay. The last one I wanted to say, and I know it said something about our plow truck that we ordered in 2023. Was delivered, and I'm not sure. CAO or deputy CAO or I'm not, I think I got that right still. The counties ordered 2 this year. They came in considerably under what their budgeted amount was for those 2. I know ours is more of a specific ask. It may not be apples to apples when I say this. I guess that's all I need to say. That they had 2 and that information is readily available if we want to see how they managed to what they got, because they certainly match the specs that the counties put out, but they might be way more than what we need, but they were in the 300s. They weren't into the 400s, which I thought was actually really good. So yeah, 2. Well, per one, but they had 850 budgeted or something like that, or 875 budgeted, and they came in at 750 maybe or something like that.
Okay.
Like it was under budget by quite a bit.
What were they? Oh, never mind. I'll give
Yeah,
it.
look it up. You're beyond
Yeah, no, thanks.
my remembrance
Yeah,
level.
no.
And that's- And that for me is it. I think on CAO's, I had one more, sorry. On brushing, we're doing more roadside brushing. I think it's in Groveton area. Is that like what we did on Cedar Grove last year?
For the mayor, I would say it would be
The normal?
similar.
So for us, we tend to get phone calls when we do brushing. I think well, maybe we're all on the same page. I certainly like the brushing. I like the reclaiming of our ditches. I think we get better drainage and, better sight lines and stuff when we do this. But it looks a little painful in the beginning of the process because it doesn't leave. It looks a little ugly. Yeah, sure, ragged. Do we give notices to the residents in the area before we do it, just so that they know what we're doing and how we're going to be doing it, or do we just go in and do it?
Say through the mayor, past practice has been, that we would not give specific notice to residents on that road. That said, one of the items that we will be working on is getting, more items on municipal 511 that would indicate activities that are happening along the right of way. For that added notice.
Right. So we just have to figure out how to get residents to notice municipal 511 or to sign up for municipal 511 so that they actually understand what it is.
So I think one of the items that we would be looking to do is with the tax insert in August is to get it all work with respect to that on a move forward basis.
Okay. All right. Communication is always key, and I know this group certainly supports stronger communication, and I know one of the issues that I have not heard a word about Groveton Road, but I certainly heard about Cedar Grove Road last year on more than one occasion, and if I drive down Cedar Grove now, it looks fantastic. But it just always worried that we're not. I don't know if notice fixes it or not, but it's just a question to see if we were doing more municipal 511. We just have to figure that out. Okay. Thank you for the update, Sean. Right on. Oh, sorry, did I not? Oh my God.
I realized that later.
I'm supposed to do that before he even brings it on the floor. My bad, totally my bad. So we have to do it all over again.
No, we don't.
Each painful moment. Councillor Ward, can you bring forward this?
Again, yep, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Joe Martell. The municipal council receives the CAO's administrative report as presented.
I saw you waving a note at me and I was like, what did I miss?
Well, we always like that.
Hard to believe I didn't speak up louder, I know, but still.
Leave it to me, I'll miss something. All right, further comments, questions on the CAO's administrative report as presented? Okay, seeing none, call the question, all in favor? You see, there we go, thanks for that, Councillor Ward. Thanks for trying to help me out. All right, Councillor inquiries, notice of motion.
I have one. No, I'm gonna bring
Inquiry or notice?
notice, and we, bring them forward. Full report on the Van Camp building on Dundas Street. Administration Finance. So we get some time to work on.
So you're asking for a request for an update on?
A request for an update on Van Camp's building on Dundas Street.
Some more of an inquiry. Do we have any information readily available?
Through the mayor, we will, look to see what we can provide for the next, operations.
And just, there's no ongoing enforcement or bylaw or any ongoing issues there that may prevent us from having any discussions openly about it?
Through the mayor, it will be limited to what we can, indicate to you in the public forum.
Okay, just so that everyone's clear on exactly what we can and can't talk about in regard to the property. Further inquiries or notices?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I guess based on some of the conversation we've had tonight about, we got one piece of correspondence from a resident. I guess I'd like to see if we can get an inquiry as to, what roads, maybe should be fit for there are 50 zones, if you will, in settlement areas that maybe are not appropriately, speed limit signs posted or anything like that. See if there's anything staff can do to take a look. I'm not asking for it tomorrow or next week or anything, but see if there's any roads identified that maybe should have signs on them, so we can have a discussion about that, or just an action on that. But is that an inquiry or is that not a motion? I'm worried that there's not a posting, for instance, on that area.
It's an enormous task to ask staff to go through every kilometer of road we have to make sure that there's speed signs. If you have specific areas that you're asking about, maybe narrow your scope a bit.
I'll maybe go there down this time into just the Lennox Road area there, just to see if we can take a look to see if we should have better signage there. And if I need to bring that before a committee, I can do that, but just more of an assessment of should it have a speed sign or other signage possible, so it would help with keeping
Staff.
flow through that.
Staff knows the inquiry and yes.
The mayor, I would say that let's go with this, it's the city money around the Baker road area.
That's what I heard. Yeah. I can safely say as mayor, if the suggestion is that we're heading towards the 40 km/h zone that some of our neighbors do, I have zero interest in having any part of that conversation, so.
In that subdivision, I sure do.
Getting that on the table.
Oh.
All right, further inquiries or notices of motion? Okay, so I do have one, and it's in regard to the Highway 2 project that Kavanaugh did last year. That continues to drag on into June. And I'll leave it as, is there an update on, or I guess my inquiry is there an update on where that project is? It seems that there's substantial work left to finish.
Mr. Mayor, the rest of the council. Kavanaugh was to be on site last week and indicated partway through the week that they would not be on site last week. been scheduled to be on site this week. And I was informed at the end of the day that, they were on site, but with the weather that we encountered today, they did not perform any major work activities, but I anticipate they will be in full force beginning tomorrow to complete those deficiencies that remain.
All right, and will we see an update on that project maybe at a future meeting so that we understand the scope of what deficiencies are and so we can update residents on whether their front lawn will be replaced at any point or?
And there's probably, I'm going to say between 50 to 60 items that remain, but naturally, like the topsoiling and all of those items are known items on this. We'll, as we get closer to the end of that project, we can certainly update on any of the fewer items that are required.
Okay, and just so council is aware, I have raised this with the counties as well, because I believe most of the work that needs to be done is actually a county's issue, not necessarily a township issue, as it is Highway 2, and it appears that most of it is there. So I, just for everyone's aware, I asked Mr. Kester and in the March meeting, I asked him again in the April meeting, and I asked him again last week for the May meeting, so that just everyone knows if you're getting any phone calls in regard to Highway 2, it's certainly been discussed at the county's level, and they are aware of it here, and Kavanaugh will be in to fix the work, or not fix the work, but finish the work. Okay, further, no one else for inquiries? No, all right, so mayor's report, short and sweet.
Do you want me to read it though?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yeah, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Councilor Ward, municipality council receives the mayor's report as presented.
I guess I'm seconding it then, okay.
There's not much to go on. Thanks, Steve. My favorite. Okay, so first, I talked to the CAO about this today. It was brought to me a couple of weeks ago. It completely passed my mind, and my apologies to Chief Moore and the entire fire department when I say this, but I got a compliment from the folks who had a fire on Frederick Street in Johnstown to the speed and the efficiency and the quality of work done by our volunteer firemen. And again, my apologies for not relaying that forward. They could not speak to how great of a job the folks at our fire department did to prevent that house from a complete loss, and they sort of maintained it to some smoke damage and certainly a lot of damage to the garage. The garage area, they're going to be displaced for a while, but without the work of the fire department, they would have lost the whole house. So well done to the team, and hopefully you can, I'm going to put it in an email as well, but hopefully you can pass that along to Chief Moore and all the volunteers that were there. I think by now probably everybody knows and has heard, but Edwardsburg Cardinal and Potentia and the Pikwakanagan First Nation are going to be home to Canada's largest battery energy storage solution project. 390, I believe, is the number. And as announced last week by Minister of Energy Todd Smith. So we welcome Potentia to Edwardsburg Cardinal. We know the process to get to opening in 2027 is long. There's a lot of consultation. I know that they're working on the environmental assessment as we speak, and it'll continue to be ongoing, as will several more rounds of consultation about the project and about the site. So, but happy to announce that it's there. And lastly, a couple of councillors joined me and Mayor Shankar and many members of the Augusta Council for the MJTB childcare yesterday. They had a little touch a truck event And it was fantastically well attended. I think maybe the deputy mayor ate his weight in hot dogs. They tried to get him to go up the ladder truck, but the parachute was too small, so. Did you not see the parachute guys they were throwing off it? Oh, you weren't there. You were there, but you were gone. Sorry, Steve. But thanks for attending both. Councillor Martel and Deputy Mayor was there, and it's fantastic, our childcare programs and the good work that they do at the MJT. And does anyone else have anything to add? Steve, you go to a million things on my behalf. Do you have anything to add to Mayor's report?
Just going to the South Dundas breakfast on Wednesday, and I'll have a report probably next Monday, but all in all, we've been busy, we'll continue to be busy, we're at the, good turnout at the, poker run here at the mill, and I think 196 canoes, kayaks, 207 registered, so.
Yeah,
Went well. I think we had a lot of people who were very impressed with our kayak launch or docking. And hopefully we can get together with Augusta to do something on the briefly. I'm gonna work on it with the mayor and the deputy mayor up there. They do the docks, maybe we can do the kayak. Yeah.
There's-
Fun because it's just get bigger and better every year.
Yeah. Thanks for remembering that.
No, it was great
You-
turnout. I didn't paddle, you did,
I did, yeah.
but
I was the
Mr.
lead.
Smell, Council Smell and I put in the kayaks. It was really great to see the people all over. I mean,
Yeah.
from Kingston to
Uh,
Chelsea,
Montreal.
Chelsea, Quebec. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It just blows me away.
Does.
That I just wouldn't want any part of it, but I mean, they love it.
Well, I will say this, most of those people didn't want any part of the job that you two were doing, and thanks for remembering, because I did not have it on my list of things to mention, and it was so well done by the Spencerville Mill Foundation, and I think they're
Great.
using it as part of the fundraiser for the elevator project, and the Optimist Club in Spencerville did have a very well organized lunch, and I have to say to the township staff, I'm assuming that it was township staff that fixed up the mill parking lot and tamped it all down and made it absolutely perfect, so it is a treat to be on,
But
but
what a surprise,
yeah, no, it was fantastic.
Great.
So both to you and to you, the amount of kayaks and whoever it was that was in the water, Mr.
Paul Henderson.
Was it
Paul Henderson.
Paul
Yeah.
Henderson? Yeah, and he must have gotten eaten alive by the leeches. I could see them swimming in the water. It's terrifying to me to fall out of the kayak. So, no, but in all seriousness, well done to all of the people involved. It was, I got some really cool pictures of that. It was a beautiful day to paddle.
So
So,
no injuries or nothing. So
well.
serious injuries.
And I guess lastly on that part, I hadn't seen the kayak launches yet. That was my first
Me too.
use of the kayak launches, and it was really cool. It was, yeah.
Did
And I
you
think-
use it? to
I
get
did,
out?
yeah, I used it to get out, yeah.
And
yeah.
it was good,
We
easy?
had to actually open the plug and let a little bit of water in to get it. I think I might have put on a couple of pounds. I couldn't quite get myself up into it, so we needed it to sit a little bit lower so the kayak would slide right in. Once we put a little bit of water in it, it slid right in there and you could stand right up, no problem. It was actually really easy to get in and out of, yeah, it's very nice. It would make that job a lot easier.
The one that we're talking about, on each
100%.
side,
Yeah.
two at a time.
Yeah, it's very
That's what I
stable,
thought.
you know,
Yeah.
you just, once you get it in the launch, the person just walks onto the platform, the kayak's held in place, they just have to stand in, it's like somebody's holding it for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's great. And unless somebody else has something that I have missed or forgotten or anything else, once, going twice, that's all you've attended, eh? One. Okay, that's it for the mayor's report. Any questions for the mayor? Hearing none, then I will call the question. All in favor?
Alright.
Question period. Do we have any questions? No, we do have one person in the gallery. Any questions? None tonight, eh? All right.
Speech.
And And no closed session, so we do have a confirmation bylaw ratifying everything we did tonight, and Councillor Martel, I believe you have that item.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Chris Ward, that a bylaw to adopt, confirm, and ratify matters dealt with by resolution be now passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-31.
Awesome. Questions or comments on the confirmatory bylaw? Hearing none, I'll call the question, all in favor? Good, and adjournment?
Yes. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Joe Martell. The municipal council does now adjourn at 8:15 p.m.
Thank you. Well, that was a healthy agenda to get done by. All right, all in favor, non-debatable? Weird. Who wants the big pile of paper? I didn't number them, Candace, so don't drop them. Rebecca.
Who gets your first?
Whomever.